Okay, so I'm Grasswalker with some advice for you guys because the deck strength matchmaking thing all shuffled around on December the 13th. There's an interview in the description of this video. Give it a look-see, have some fun. But first, watch this. I'm going to click away. Alright. Deck strength matchmaking is used in a couple of formats, and basically, Wizards is trying to figure out how good what you are playing is based on how many wild cards are used to make the cards that you're playing with, how often they're used, who likes them the most, and probably a manual factor as well typed in. But this causes some issues, because everyone who completed the tutorial section of the game got the starting decks, and this starting deck contains 3 copies of M19 Llanowar Elves. So, who is using cards to create Llanowar Elves, the wild cards? Not really anybody. So this Llanowar Elves, we can maybe possibly assume, is better to play than this Llanowar Elves, which people are more likely to spend a card on because it looks pretty, and you probably can't get it any other way. So if you're using your cards to create this Llanowar Elves, you're making a terrible, terrible decision for the power level of your deck, rather than just using the M19 one that everyone has and no one spent cards on. So, the same card will have a negative impact on your deck strength. The other thing I want to give you guys advice about, do not, under any circumstances, unless you're playing best of threes, which no one will do because the option's hidden and disabled and removed, do not put anything in your sideboard. I used to put cards in the sideboard because I thought, maybe I'll play this deck for a couple of days, and I'll have a couple of flex cards. If I lose too many games to aggro, I'll put in some anti-aggro cards. After my couple of best of ones, I'd get a feel for it, and I'd swap things between the sideboard and the deck that I felt like I wanted to move around. Don't do that, because the sideboard is included in your deck strength in a best of one format. So, you can test this by putting really good, really commonly used cards in the sideboard. Just get 15 of the best cards in Standard right now, put them all in, and you'll be put against the best decks. So keep your sideboard empty, unless you're playing best of threes, and even then, maybe, don't put so many cards in your sideboard. The final thing is lands. So if we, for example, in Primal Fury, wanted to dip, okay, that's not good enough, there we go. If we wanted to dip another colour, say black, and we want to go Jund, you actually shouldn't put in the good lands. So there's Overgrown Tomb, and there's whatever the name of the black-green forest is. Instead, you should be playing the absolute garbage Guild Gates, or just basics, because basics don't have an effect on your deck strength, and if you get mana screwed, you may as well just give up, because the strength of strengthening your mana base usually isn't worth giving up like how bad the deck strength adjustment is. So you could play Golgari Guildgate, 4 of them that everyone got for free in their starter decks, and it wouldn't really have an impact on your deck strength. Or you could just play 2 forests, 2 swamps. But whatever you want, don't put 4 copies of a really powerful rare land like Overgrown Tomb in that's slightly marginally better than Guildgate, because it will screw you over so badly. When, if you're a new player and this is your whole deck, just the starter deck, and you spend your first 4 things, I'll improve the mana base, you've actually destroyed all of your matchups, because you might have good mana, slightly better mana, but you're playing against decks that are so much stronger because the game thinks that you have 8 good cards, your 4 Overgrown Tombs and your 4 Woodland Cemeteries. It thinks that you've got good cards in your deck, that your deck is strong, but all you've done is slightly marginally improve the mana base. So it's actually often not worth improving the mana. Just play a bunch of basics, and if you get screwed, that's just what happens. Just give up. But I mean, I don't know everything about the deck strength. Nobody does, because they're hiding it as best as they can. I'm assuming it's because they're ashamed of it and don't want people to game the system. But let me know what kind of experiences you've had with the deck strength system, how you found it, what you think about it, and if you have any tips like empty your sideboard. If there's a card that you're playing that you have multiple copies of, think about where you got them from and if people are spending wildcards on the same place that you got yours. And just generally, what decisions have you made that are kind of wacky? Have you deliberately chosen a worse card because it's less popular to make the deck weaker so that you play against weaker decks? Because I do that all the time. I got a bunch of decks designed around cheesing the deck strength system to play against garbage decks, and you're playing a bunch of second best cards, but they're just playing garbage, and then you win really easily. Do your dailies like 5 minutes, don't lose once. But let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm a bad person for doing that. I'm just curious. Thank you guys for joining me. See you in the next video. Bye.